the original winner for the Men's Royal Rumble revealed, and we have some insight as to what may have led to the Rumble looking a little clunky, to say the least. Before we get to that, though, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. So the original winner of the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble was not supposed to be Brock Lesnar. Instead, it was supposed to be Riddle. Yes, the artist formerly known as Matt Riddle, also one half of RK Bros on WWE Raw, was supposed to win the Royal Rumble and have a main event match for a world title at WrestleMania, which right about now sounds like a great idea had they done it. Now, it was reported that plans changed over the course of the week a bunch of times. I covered this in a video yesterday. It seemed like talent were frustrated, and that led to fans being frustrated because you really saw the clunkiness, the just weird pacing of the Rumble and everything that kind of led up to that in the final product as well. And you can understand why talent will be frustrated with several changes happening so close to Rumble time. And so many changes also happening so close to Rumble time. They said as many as 20 happened. That's a lot. PW Insider also reports that Randy Orton was also pitched to be a winner of the Royal Rumble, but Riddle was the front runner until the switch was made for Brock Lesnar. As to why the switch was made from Riddle to Brock, it seems like it's just for a surprise. WWE wanted Brock Lesnar's entry at number 30, I should say, to be a surprise. They wanted him to come out, get this huge pop, and, you know, like, be a little bit of a wild card. Even though there were a lot of people who actually thought that Brock Lesnar was going to win, and that was going to be the end result. So it ended up being a little bit of a surprise. You got the pop, but, you know, it was just... It was also a little predictable. I think that's the end result. It ended up being a way more predictable than maybe WWE had hoped. And, you know, that's kind of counterproductive as to what they were doing. Another insight as to what may have led to the changes and what may have led to this being different. It said that some pointed to the fact that Triple H and Tyson Kidd not being there as major reasons as to why the match felt a little different this year. And, you know, for those who don't know, Tyson Kidd has been a producer for WWE, and Triple H obviously has had a major role previously, at least had a major role obviously in NXT, but also on the main roster and also on, you know, match structures for several talent. And, you know, I'm sure he definitely had a lot of input as far as the Royal Rumbles and big matches go on these big events, at least previously. Now we know his role is diminished quite a bit. But in the end, I mean, it would have been exciting to have Riddle win because that would have been a little bit of a left field thing. And it would have been cool because they've been building this thing with RK Bros for so long. And that would just add to it. Matt Riddle maybe being able to go off on his own and do a little bit of something by himself and accomplishing that. Who knows what that could do for his character? Who knows what that could do for Randy Orton's character and their story in general? And in general, it would be great to see Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley or whoever for the WWE title. That would be a cool thing because, you know, Riddle hasn't really been in the WWE title picture for a while. So that would have been cool. No, instead we got Brock, which is fine. You can argue, and you might be right, that they could have done Brock versus Roman anyway, and he didn't have to necessarily win the Rumble. But, you know, that's an argument to be had. There's good and bad reasons for both, but that's the result we got. Hey everyone, we hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Anyway, guys, I got work. I got 100% work by WWE. I was all in on this missing egg thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And look, when I explain why, please hear me out, all right? So, let's break it down. This whole egg thing, let's break it down from start to finish. It's Survivor Series. It is The Rock's 25th anniversary of his debut. Vince McMahon arrives at Survivor Series in his stretch limo, as he does, with all of the people in a 24/7 open challenge, all cheering him on, clapping, all of that jazz. And he comes out holding an egg, as you can see right here. He holds this golden egg, and everyone's wondering, what the hell is that? Everyone's oohing and awing. And we get to another segment, and Vince says that the egg was a gift from The Rock, and it belonged to Cleopatra. This was Cleopatra's egg, worth $100 million that Vince McMahon was just carrying around in his hands with like virtually no guarded security. That was a gift from Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And he just has sitting in his office. All right, my immediate thoughts. This is dumb. But this is like brilliant levels of dumb. Like they're going to do. My thing is, I was like, oh, at this point, they're going to do something hilarious with this egg. The egg gets stolen. I'm like, oh, yep, they're going to do something hilarious with the egg. And I'm like, cool. And I mean hilarious in the bad way. I'm like, this is going to be so bad that I'm going to laugh my ass off. That's what I was expecting. So the egg goes missing. Vince is pissed. And you know what he says? He says, we're going to set up a whodunit. Tomorrow night on Raw, you're going to find out who stole my egg. And they're going to have Raw superstars, SmackDown superstars. All are going to be there in the Barclays Center tomorrow night live on USA Network. He set it up. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. We're getting a Raw Super Show. Roman Reigns is going to be there. Charlotte Flair is going to be there. It's going to be a great night. So Monday night arrives, and here I am, thinking there's going to be superstars everywhere. And the whole whodunit, everyone's going to be surrounding the ring. Vince is going to be cutting a promo to open the show. I was thinking Leslie Nielsen from what was it, SummerSlam 1994. Wow. Well, this is sad. We have sound now. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the show where everything goes wrong. Welcome back to Real Take Wrestle Talk. Trevor is delayed a little bit. He will be joining us in just a little bit. So before we get to that, though, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And I thought I might as well take this opportunity to announce, I think you guys can hear me now. Hopefully you can. Let me know if you can or you can't. But I'd like to take this opportunity to announce to everyone in the Real Take universe, brother, that Real Take Wrestling, the YouTube channel Real Take Wrestling, has launched. That is going to be my own venture into all things pro wrestling. I have pinned the link for that in the chat. Just so you guys know, all future WWE, AEW live streams, all future listing content, all future, all the wrestling content that's not this show, going to be moving over to Real Take Wrestling. And the link again for that, for the new channel, Real Take Wrestling, linked in the chat. One big note, again, Real Take Wrestle Talk will not change. It is not going over. You might see the occasional clip, but you will see a lot of other great stuff over there. Real Take Wrestling is going to stay here. Real Take Wrestle Talk is going to stay here as we try to admit Trevor into the wonderful, wonderful Zoom world that we live in. He still hasn't shown up, but it's okay. We're still working here. Everyone, go sub to Real Take Wrestling. Make my day. Wrestling Stars, Cincy Edits, the 202, all you wonderful people who have kept this chat going and alive. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for dealing with the stuff that we have going on, as we still are trying to get Trevor into the Zoom. He's not showing up, but I'll coordinate with him. We'll see. But that doesn't mean that we can't talk about wrestling, because boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about our best and worst and weirdest from the week. I did fix the graphic, Cincy. And we're also going to be talking about, Jeff Hardy as Wrestling Stars. Oh, my Wrestling Stars. In the chat just said we are going to be talking about Jeff Hardy. So much to do, so much to see. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the soothing sound of my voice as we talk about wrestling and try to get Trevor back into this thing. This would actually be a great time for everyone in the chat to put some questions that you want me to answer in the chat. I'm sorry for the I'm sorry for the fact that we're having these technical difficulties or whatever's going on, the delays. We will figure that out and hopefully have those bugs panned out before the next episode comes out. But Trevor will be joining us. It's just a matter of getting him here, which I'm sure we will. But guys, put your questions in the chat. Let me know what you guys want to talk about before we get to the official show. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. So let's get to some of these questions. Hopefully you guys came ready with questions. Since he says, I haven't heard anything about Jeff Hardy, and this is why Real Take Wrestling is great. And yes, I know there have not been many clips put up there. There are going to be definitely a lot more clips put up on Real Take Wrestling starting tomorrow. I guarantee it. But any questions you guys have, put them in the chat right now, because I love those. I love those questions you guys give me. Jeff Hardy. We're going to talk about Jeff Hardy. Don't you worry. And then we have Cincy Edit saying, is Danhausen and Orangehausen the best tag team in all of pro wrestling? It is going to be the greatest tag team of all time, if I have anything to say about it. Like Danhausen and Orange Cassidy, a match made in heaven against, like imagine that. Danhausen and Orange Cassidy versus Sting and what's his name? Darby Allin. I can't believe I said what's his name to Darby Allin. But a match made in heaven versus a match made in hell. What a time that would be. Man, so much to do, so much to see. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Just sent Trevor a new link. Hopefully he is seeing this and is going to try that link. If not, we're going to figure it out. Do not worry. Well, one way or another, we will figure it out. Wrestling Stars in the chat says, 7 days after Revolution, Wyndham Rotunda and Keith Lee's wife, Mia Yim, and Scarlett Bordeaux debut meet at a meet and greet at a showcase of legends, which believe people say Wyndham and Keith. I don't think Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. Wyndham Rotunda, is bound for AEW anytime before Double or Nothing, because it's due to a few reasons. Mostly because I just think he's going to take time to focus on the movies that he's producing, the horror movie that we know that he is producing. He's going to take some time to do that. And I think that's going to kind of take up a lot of his time. And then he'll return to wrestling when the time is right. I guarantee you he will return to wrestling when the time is right. I just don't know if that time is necessarily right freaking now. What I do know right freaking now is that someone finally, by God, finally has joined us. Trevor, the barman, there he is. Trevor, the barman, Sutton, unmute yourself and let's hear that beautiful voice.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Trevor? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's here. He made it.
That.
Yeah, homie, we made it. We made it on some Kanye shiznit. We are here. Hey, guys, welcome back to the show, the wrestling show, where it can only go wrong. We'll fix that, Trevor. Thank you for interrupting me again. I love you. Anyway, hey, guys, welcome back to the wrestling show. We're keeping it real, never goes right. Welcome back to Real Take Wrestle Talk live here on YouTube. We're back. 2-week absence. We're finally here, and we're going to talk about all the stuff we missed and all of the latest news, notes, and rumors in the world of professional wrestling. Trevor, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself, bud?
We fight on Tuesday night tomorrow. That's about that's where I am in my life right now. And I know all of you watching this, listening to this, are thinking only one thing: how can I get informed of every single Real Take Sports video? Well, you know what you do? You hit that like button, you subscribe, and you hit that notification bell. You go over to youtube.com/Real Take Sports and you subscribe. That's what you do. Welcome everyone in the chat. Welcome everyone at home. Welcome. We've got a lot to get to. We got an AEW mystery signing. We also have rumors about plans for WWE WrestleMania 39 29. I'm old. And then we also have news from Ronda Rousey, CM Punk versus MJF, and everyone's favorite wrestling, whatever he is, Danhausen. We're going to talk about him. So much to talk about today, guys. But Trevor, this week we start, as always, with our worst, weirdest, and best, yes, I fixed the graphic, WWB from the past 2 weeks, because that's how long we've been gone in pro wrestling. Trevor, why don't you start us off? Start us off here. What is the worst thing from the past 2 weeks in pro wrestling?
Worst thing. Oh man, it's where to start. You know what? I'm gonna go easy on this one. What they're doing with RK Bro.
Oh, no. See, that's my best. Oh,
is it really?
Oh,
I
no.
hate it.
Tell me why it's your worst, please. No, I love this.
I hate it. So I can see where it would be best because it is hilarious and their chemistry is amazing.
No, just tell me why it's shit. I don't care about why you.
No. But I mean, I can see. It's crap because you have two talented wrestlers that are just. I feel like they're going the route of the Street Profits right now. You know what I mean? When they had that bullshit with the Viking Raiders, it just rubs. And not only two, they have two wrestlers. They have four wrestlers, two great teams that are doing this dumb shit. This academic bowl.
Our Lord and Savior, Chad Gable, is sitting out there.
It's entertaining, but it's. And I mean, you can also throw, since we're doing 2 weeks, you also throw kind of what they're doing with Alexa Bliss in there, kind of annoying too.
Oh, well, yeah, that's pretty bad. But oh my God, Trevor, bringing the sauce early. Oh my God, I love it. We're back and better than ever, baby. Oh, that was, see, I'll get to why that's my greatest. And actually, I'll talk about it right now. It's my best thing in pro wrestling because of Chad Gable. Again, our Lord and Savior. Alpha Academy, for me, is the best thing in pro wrestling by a mile right now. At least for me, definitely on WWE, are they the best thing in pro wrestling? But come on, I got to put them on this list. Alpha Academy, the trivia challenge this week. They had the scooter race. They had the spelling bee. The spelling bee, which was to me one of the greatest segments I've ever seen. With Chad Gable spelling he didn't spell the word wrong. He just heard the word wrong. And I'm just like, oh my God, Chad Gable, you genius. He's such a genius that his hearing is interrupted. Canon, baby.
We all know how you feel about Chad Gable.
Oh my God, no. If this is not proving my case that Chad Gable might be the most underrated, underutilized talent in all of pro wrestling, then I don't know what is. I think very highly of Chad Gable and what he's done with Otis. Also, what Otis has done, people discount Otis, but going into WrestleMania 36, Otis probably had the hottest feud in WWE at that point. And that was the Pandemic Mania. We all remember that. The only feud really that was building up that had any long-term build was Otis and Mandy versus Ziggler and Sonya Deville. So he's showing his chops. He's proven exactly why he was put in that limelight, why he should have been Mr. Money in the Bank, damn it. And, I mean, it's great comedy. It's showing charisma from Chad Gable, which that he has, but I don't know if WWE or officials necessarily thought he had that. He definitely does, and I think he's winning them over slowly by turning their crap into golden, little Hershey Kiss turds. It is so great. Again, and you know what? Hey, you want throw the cherry on top. Chad Gable's probably also one of the best workers in WWE, and Otis is probably one of the most underrated workers in WWE. It is Alpha Academy, my best by a mile. Which I love the fact that we disagreed there because
yeah, I am too. I'm glad we disagree with that one.
I'm fine. We finally disagree. It took us a year into the podcast. We finally disagree on something. We got some stuff in the chat. It's like the bartender Trevor need to pour me a shot. Well, you might have to do that for him.
Who's that?
That was Wrestling Stars. CC says, yay, you spelled it right. Damn right I did. And Wrestling Stars says, do the Seth Rollins voice. Do the Seth laugh. Well, I might do that later on in the show. Don't worry.
Probably.
Stick around for that. Anyway,
it's going to happen.
Let's move on to the weirdest thing in pro wrestling. I'm going to go first on this one because my weirdest thing, some people might have missed, but the Boogeyman has re-signed with WWE. This is not a joke. The Boogeyman has re-signed with WWE. He put up a clip, I believe, on Instagram or Twitter. It was of him signing a WWE contract, and it's apparently a Legends deal. But I'm just like, the Boogeyman is back. You know what that means? He signed a Legends deal. All the WrestleMania accesses, all the SummerSlam accesses, all the big events. Boogeyman's gonna be there, and he's coming to get you. And I love it. I was always a huge fan of the Boogeyman. He gets a huge pop anytime he comes out because he has arguably one of the most recognizable, outlandish gimmicks of all time. And like when you think Boogeyman, like you know how like there's like the pop culture, the way they view the Boogeyman is completely different. It's just like a generic term that people, oh, he's like his Boogeyman. Like you might hear that thrown around in football or whatever. But for me, when I think Boogeyman, I think, oh, I'm the Boogeyman. And I'm coming to get you. Oh, Shamel, I'm coming to get you. Like, I think of Papa Shango on ungodly amounts of drugs. That's what I think when I think Boogeyman.
That's exactly what I thought about
and I mean, I'm talking about the good ones. But well, there are no good drugs, kids. Anyway, but I love it. I want to see more Boogeyman. Raw is a crappy show to begin with. You know how you fix it? If you're gonna go all in on entertainment, sports entertainment, all that stuff, put the Boogeyman on that. Give him a segment. Let Boogeyman be the GM of Raw. I'm so serious about this. Like, if they're not going to fix, if they're not going to fix the illogical booking and all that stuff, and it's just going to be entertainment for the sake of entertainment, put the Boogeyman on there. I want to see the Boogeyman start making matches. Could you imagine Boogeyman coming out there being like, oh, I'm the Boogeyman, and you're going to be in a tag team match.
How old is the Boogeyman at this point?
Oh my God. I looked at he's like 60.
Jesus.
Yo, it don't crack, man. It don't crack.
Hey, it don't. It
don't crack. Hey, Trevor.
With a wooden cane.
Hey, look at you in like 30 years. You're still going to look like this. Hopefully. We're hoping for that. Although, are we? I don't know. Guys, hit that like button. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Since he's marking out at the idea of Boogeyman being the GM of Raw.
He's an idiot. I love Cincy.
I think it's the greatest idea ever. But oh God, Wrestling Star says the Boogeyman is definitely going to sign to replace Bray Wyatt. I wouldn't be surprised. Yes. If there's the only one way to fix the Alexa Bliss storyline, add the Boogeyman in there. Boogeyman
exactly. That's it. That's
equals ratings. All right. Boogeyman equals ratings. That is Steiner math confirmed. Steiner line.
Weirdest. Let's see. So it's not. I'm sure it's not supposed to come off as weird, but it does to me. The whole Becky Lynch and Lita thing. It comes off as weird and awkward to me. Honestly, like it's supposed to be great, and the idea of it is, when you think about it, it's pretty cool. But the whole promo, all the promos and everything, just come off as a little stale and weird.
How do you? So I let me say this as I am off camera. Right. Sorry about that, but let me say this, Trev. So the idea of bringing Lita back, I think there's clear reasons why they brought Lita back. Number one, she's just super over. She's always going to be over. She's Lita, damn it. Right. I get that part. I understand the fact that, this is like, it's a big deal. It was like her first match or whatever since she retired. She hasn't. So
like 15 years, right?
Lita has not wrestled a singles match since her retirement match against Mickie James in 2006. She has not wrestled a singles match. So that is a longer absence than Goldberg, when he returned in 2017. That's a longer absence than The Rock. That's a longer absence than I think in anyone in at least modern WWE history who's wrestled like an actual, not like the Bret Hart thing where it was like like it was more of an angle. I'm talking about like a straight wrestling match.
Right.
That combined with what I saw from her in the Royal Rumble, I am praying to God they do not let her do the top rope moonsault. I understand it's a great move, or it looks cool, and it's like that's Lita's move, but it was dangerous when she did it in 2004, and it's dangerous when she does it now because the way Lita takes it, it's not even like she launches herself. She just kind of falls over, and I'm like deathly scared that they're gonna do that move, and she's going to land right on her neck, and I don't want that for Lita.
I've been saying that for a long time. I love, like you said, I love the moonsault. I love how she does it because it's pretty much a high angle moonsault, and she, like you said, literally she's leaning back, and but even before she's actually doing it, and she flips over, and like I still think she's physically fit, but it kind of worried me a little bit at WrestleMania. At Royal Rumble because like. It literally looked like she was gonna fall on her head. So I get what you mean, but like it's just don't get me wrong. Like I'm glad to see her Scotty 2 Hotty because Scotty 2 Hotty is wrestling again too. I don't know if you know that. And it's good to see these guys. And Scotty looks amazing, by the way. He's been in the gym. He looks good. It's good to see these guys still have some life after WWE.
Damn right. Scotty 2 Hotty. Answer my DMs.
But the thing is, like. It's just coming off as weird. That's why I picked it as my weirdest because like it's coming off as just a little weird and a little awkward. Like she's still good at her promos, but the whole promo between her and Becky Lynch is just it's just awkward.
I mean, look, heel Becky Lynch. It doesn't work as well as like face Becky Lynch, obviously, because everyone just wants to cheer her. Everyone just wants to cheer her, no matter what she's doing. She'll get the boos, like, oh, Becky, oh, you're so bad, right. Babidi whoopee, like, yeah, whatever, right? But she's not gonna like people want to cheer her. She's not gonna get like the I don't even the X-Pac treatment. Oh God, no one wants the X-Pac treatment. Although your boy was almost in the Rumble. I don't know if you heard that.
I know.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah, that was not great. We got Wrestle Scarred in the chat bringing up something interesting, saying Lita is taking someone's moment. You could easily put Raquel Gonzalez in against Becky Lynch. And my only retort to that, if it's Saudi Mania, I don't care who you put in there. I'm not watching the damn thing, so I don't care. Like
True.
I have not watched the Saudi Mania since I think I watched not the greatest Royal. What was it they called it? I think they called it the Greatest Royal Rumble, right, or something like that.
Yeah,
the 50-man Rumble. I watched the 50-man Rumble. That was enough Saudi Mania in my life. Although I did peep in. I can't lie. I did peep in for clips of the Saudi Hogan versus Saudi Ric Flair. I mean, I mean, look, it's Saudi Mania. They're gonna give stars the money. It's why Goldberg's coming back. We'll talk about Goldberg's return in just a little bit. It's why Goldberg's coming back. It's just the greatest hits. It's why they're doing the Elimination Chamber. Also, WWPR. Great job, by the way, putting the Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia. Great job.
Oh, this is gonna be wait. This is gonna be in Saudi Arabia.
the desert storm, Michael. We're gonna
wait.
We're gonna lock him up and throw in a keel, just like MBS. Michael.
So, we'll talk about that later. What Elimination Chamber's gonna be in Saudi Arabia?
We're gonna have women wrestling in a cage because that's Saudi Arabia, Michael.
Oh,
that's what they do. That's not what all Saudis do. The government loves to put people in cages, though, and demean people. Just saying.
And that's a real fact.
That's a real take. It's as real as it can get. If you imagine, oh my God, Vince is out there though. He's just like, or it's gonna be a desert storm. You know what? The only thing that would make me maybe tune in to at least the beginning of a Saudi Mania, which yes, all Saudi shows from now on are gonna be called Saudi Manias. The only thing that would make me tune in to a Saudi Mania would be if Vince did the intro. Remember, like he used to do back in like the golden era of pro wrestling, like WrestleMania, like 6, 7, 8. He'd be like, the ultimate desert storm. It's gonna be Hulk Hogan taking on his Saudi Arabian counterpart, Saudi Hogan, in a desert storm showdown. It's not just WrestleMania. It's WWE Saudi Mania. I want that.
You need a lozenge, my man.
I also need a like, share, and subscribe. Ayo.
Absolutely. Ooh, I like how you did that there. I forgot what I was even. Wrestle Stars to piggyback on what you said. She is taking somebody's spot, and we all know who it is. It's not, and unfortunately, it's not Raquel Gonzalez. It's Liv Morgan.
Oh, buddy. If we did a show last week, that would have been my worst, and we would have spent 30 minutes talking about it. Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ. Don't get me wrong. I like Ronda, but come on.
Oh, yeah? You think Liv Morgan should have won? Well, you look like a bitch. I'm Ronda Rousey. I'm Ronda Rousey. You hit like a bitch. I love Ronda Rousey.
WrestleMania, bitch.
I want everyone to know I love Ronda Rousey. She's like I know it's not popular take. I like her as a performer. Don't agree with all of her takes on a lot of things, but as a performer, like I just love her. I think she's it's a fact. Women's martial MMA would not be the same without Ronda Rousey. It would not be as big. I know someone's put out a tweet. I forgot who it was. Without Ronda Rousey, they'd be wrestling. Women MMA will be wrestling or performing, I should say, in bingo halls. I don't think that's necessarily true. They would be performing in significantly smaller arenas. They would not be as big of a draw, basically, without Ronda Rousey laying the groundwork for that. And she did. It wasn't just her. It was a lot of other people too, Cyborg and the like. But Ronda Rousey did that, and she's actually the one that got me really back into MMA and following it. So, like, that's honestly what I think. But you know, still, I mean, you can't. Yeah, well, you know what your fans are? Fans are a bunch of little bitches.
Bitch.
I'm Ronda Rousey.
Your Ronda Rousey sounds a lot like your Seth Rollins.
Oh no! Seth Rollins going.
Yo,
I'm a Joker now.
Why did my man look like a disco ball? Did you see his shine?
You know why I look like a disco ball? Because I'm from the 1970s. My name is Seth Rollins. I'm Back to the Future.
It sounds like evil villain.
That's what Seth Rollins should be typecast as a 1960s Bond villain. That's just what he should be. Although I do like this Joker turn that they were doing with him.
I do.
I actually do like that. And I was someone who was out. I
enjoy it.
I remember I was on the preview show with Ango, like before the Rumble, and I was just like, yeah, Seth Rollins isn't doing it for me. I don't like him. I hate him. But no, I think the Joker thing has actually got me really interested. But I just realized oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say we're still stuck on the weirdest, and we're like 30 minutes in.
Hey man, this is live TV, pal. Anyway, I got one more thing. I did not mention my worst thing in pro wrestling, and it's actually something that I've held on to that I wanted to talk to you about, Trevor. Shane McMahon just everything surrounding Shane McMahon over the past 2 weeks is my worst thing in pro wrestling, because not only did he put together a crappy Royal Rumble, not saying it was just him, but not only did he help put together a crappy Royal Rumble, not only did he apparently demoralize the locker room to no end, not only did he enter the Royal Rumble, not only did this man get fired for all of that jazz that happened
from
before,
his own company.
But honestly, the worst thing that I think that came out of all this was the revelation this week, according to Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp, that Shane McMahon, his entrance music for the Rumble,
played at the wrong entry. So apparently Randy Orton was supposed to come in at 28 and then McMahon at 29. Randy Orton's coming out to get, or he's ready to come out. And then you just hear, here comes the money. Here we go. Money talks. Here comes the money. And then there's like a little bit of a delay. It's like, oh, what happened? And Randy looks at Shane and he just looks at him and he says, I'm not going out. Here comes the money. Like Shane McMahon had to go out, and Orton came out at 29, and that's WWE history now. But it is just that Rumble. Like, look, I actually thought the women's Rumble was better than. I mean, it was obviously better than the men's Rumble, but I think this women's Rumble for me was one of the best they've ever had. Like, and again, I understand that's not necessarily a hot take. But you also have to look at the fact they've only had 4 or 5 now. But I do think that it is it accomplished a lot. It got a lot of stars, surprises over, and you had the big reveal of Ronda Rousey's return. I thought that was great. That was like the high point of the night. Downhill from there though. And a lot of it had to do with good old Shane O'Mac. Ho 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 ho. Oh yeah. Yeah, you see these punches? Lethal. Registered weapon.
It really looks like he's just swatting off flies. Like,
that's what Shane McMahon's doing. He probably pays someone to swat his flies. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos released. Cincy in the chat says, LMAO, I don't blame Randy. Hey, Randy. Oh, my God. Riddle. I love how they've leaned into Riddle just being, high, like on WWE TV.
Is hell. Just high as hell.
It was like the Graham jokes, the scale jokes, the everything. Some perfection. Everything else on that show is garbage. Please change it. But
absolute garbage. Especially Miz. Miz should just take a nap.
When my hand goes up, you go. Your mouth goes shut. I'm the Miz, and this is my hot wife, Maurice. Heat. Oh, me. I'm the champion.
What? I used to like Miz.
I am. I'm the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. You know what it means to be the Intercontinental Champion 20 times in the mid-2000s? Jack shit, but I did it.
Oh, you didn't say my favorite one. I'm the only 2-time Grand Slam champion.
Oh, no. Oh, see, you got the content right, but the voice, you did more of a Ziggler there. You did more of a Ziggly puff there.
More of a Ziggler. You're right. More of a
you know how Ziggler, every promo he cuts for the past 10 years now is just, I've been in this company for 15 years and I haven't done shit, and now I'm gonna stay in this company for another 15 years and I'm not gonna do anything. Like that's just what Ziggler does.
That's more Ziggler. You're absolutely right.
And he looks at the ground because he's always about to let a super kick loose on somebody because he's a combination of Mr. Perfect and Shawn Michaels in the early 90s, and he never evolved past that.
That's about it.
Yeah. He's Shawn Michaels if Shawn Michaels never moved up the card. That's exactly what Dolph Ziggler is.
I used to always call him a black market Shawn Michaels. I would always call him that. With less talent.
Whoa! I'm almost got eliminated from the. How many times can you almost get eliminated from the Rumble? Ziggler definitely owns the Guinness Book of World Record for that. Guys, we spent a lot of time on this stuff, and I'm so glad we did. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Trevor, we're going to get into the news / wrestling / whatever portion of our show and talk about Goldberg. Goldberg made his return to WWE TV this past week on Friday Night SmackDown, interrupting the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, acknowledge him, and challenging him to a WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship match at Saudi Mania at Elimination Chamber. Trevor, what do we think about Goldberg returning for one last paycheck at Saudi Mania?
Well, I talked about you needing a lozenge. That man been needing a lozenge for 1,000 years. I swear, every time he does Goldberg, he loses his voice. And dude, come on. At this point, it's just old. And since he said it best, Oldberg, like it's just old. Like who cares that you're gonna? Who's next? You know what's next? An old folks home, and maybe a colostomy bag. At
You
this
know
point.
what's next?
Like
some tapioca for dinner, Grandpa. That's what's next.
Jesus Christ! And can we get a jackhammer that's done for like?
No. I don't want
right
Goldberg to ever deliver another jackhammer. No, he should never deliver another jackhammer in his life.
Like, oh my God, he's going to seriously hurt somebody. Who was the last person? He almost dropped McIntyre on his neck, didn't he?
Yeah, so it was like So I mean, it's like everyone he's done it to. McIntyre, he almost dropped on his neck. Undertaker, he literally dropped on his neck. And then who was it? It was the Bray Wyatt one, the Fiend
Bray
one.
Wyatt,
that was
Bray
pretty
Wyatt.
bad too. Like,
it was Drew McIntyre. I want to say he almost dropped Drew on his head too. I think.
Yeah, and Cincy in the chat actually puts it right. Saudi must loved Oldberg or something. Yeah, they do. You know why?
They do.
Because the Saudi princes, they're living they're living it up like it's 1999 all the time. So it's like literally, Goldberg, Ultimate Warrior, where are these wrestlers and why? How can I buy them? Like,
Goldberg is literally singing that song. We get A-Rab money. Look, he doesn't care.
But again, for me, it's just like I don't care. Trevor, I don't care. You know why? Because it's happening at Saudi Mania. The only thing about this that actually, because I just don't care about Saudi Mania pay-per-views. I'm sorry. Like it just, I don't watch. I watch maybe I'll watch an occasional clip. I still haven't watched apparently one of the best Hell in a Cell matches ever between Rollins and
I didn't
Edge.
watch that either.
I didn't watch it, and you know why? I'm probably not gonna watch it, even though that's my thing. My thing. People rave about it. That's fine. Didn't watch it. Not saying it was bad. Just didn't watch it. But I just don't care. The only sad part is they made this the go-home pay-per-view, premium live event before WrestleMania, where I'm just like, come on.
Right.
Like nothing's going to happen at the pay-per-view. What? I can tell you, Brock Lesnar's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and then he's going to be like, he's like, I'm going to face Roman Reigns, and I'm going to terrify the shit out of everybody on TV for the next 18 weeks. Like, that's what he's going to do. And then Roman's just going to be like, Paul, say something. Like, that's just get to the. They set it up already. Just get to the match. Just get to the match.
It's
do filler. It's filler. It's filler to me. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll pay someone $1 to watch it for me. I'm not gonna watch it. Cause that's all Saudi Mania is worth. I hate. First off, I hate the pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia. I hate, like, it just doesn't feel like wrestling. It feels like Hulk Hogan, everything he's never done, and it's just annoying. And I just don't feel like watching it. Like, you know what? I'd rather watch. Who's a horrible commentator? The worst commentator we can think of. Do commentating for 2 hours than watch this.
Oh, you rather watch D'Lo Brown on commentary for? Oh, here we go. No. I got it. Would you rather, Trevor, watch an episode of Monday Night Raw commentated by D'Lo Brown by himself, or the top 3 Saudi Mania matches that have ever been? Like, just those 3 matches. Like, I don't know what the other 2 would be. You're definitely watching Edge versus Rollins. You're watching and you got to watch the Royal Rumble, and you got to watch the damn 50-man Royal Rumble. I got to put some crap in there.
So I gotta watch Titus O'Neil slip under the ring.
Oh wait, man! Like, it's the best part of that match. And then you got to watch the King of the Ring was at the. Then you got to watch the King of the Ring stuff they did in Queen of the Ring. All that, or D'Lo Brown on Raw for 3 hours, and you can't skip through commercials. Commercial free, baby.
I'd watch D'Lo. Watch D'Lo. And as horrible as that sounds, because D'Lo, we love you. We love your head shaking and all your whatever, and all of your jazz, but you're a horrible commentator. Terrible.
It's the real deal now. Beat, beat, beat. Piss on the seat. Like, yeah.
But
yeah.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
It's not even worth talking about at this point. It's just awful.
And that is Trevor's way of telling me, move on. I'm sick and tired of talking about this. One more question, though, on the Oldberg front. Trevor, if it's like a 0.001% chance this happens.
Right.
If Goldberg, because it's Saudi Arabia, literally all bets are off. They will give Vince McMahon $10 million and be like, make Goldberg the champion now. If Goldberg...
I just thought of something horrible.
If Goldberg beats Roman Reigns for the Universal title clean, just react.
So you said that, and I thought of something very, very horrible. And I'm talking low because it makes me sad. So what if Brock Lesnar beats Bobby Lashley for the title and Roman Reigns loses to Goldberg and go to WrestleMania and Roman Reigns then beats Brock Lesnar?
So there's a world where that kind of makes some semblance of sense. I think it's stupid. That world should not exist.
Oh, it's absolutely the dumbest thing that could happen.
The match should be Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. If you want to put Goldberg over, you make the match Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. You have Goldberg win, and then Big E versus Goldberg at WrestleMania. And that's the match that Big E wants. That's the match that Goldberg wants. Like Big E's talked about that match for a while.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean,
can you imagine? They're like, Vince in the bar. He's like, we gotta get Goldberg to WrestleMania with the title against Big E, and he's thinking he's like doing the fans such a service, and it's like, no, you don't have it beat Roman freaking Reigns. The best thing about your company right now. Like, no,
that's what the people want.
That's what the people want. You wanted Roman to lose 5 years ago. I'm giving it to you, and he's gonna lose in 10 seconds, and he's gonna destroy the Usos. I'm gonna bury Roman.
That's what the Saudis want. And the Saudis...
I'm gonna bury Roman in the sand deeper than WCW. Like, he's gonna be down there with Sean Stasiak.
Oh, shit.
Oh, please, no. Please, I hope I didn't speak that into existence.
Dear
of
God.
all the terrible things I've spoken into existence on this show, that is like very at the bottom of the list of things I actually want.
I know we've been gone for 2 weeks, but Jesus.
Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Moving on from the Goldberg front, we are going to talk about WrestleMania. Not 38, but 39. We got some plans potentially for WrestleMania 39, and they involve Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, The Rock, and Roman Reigns. Writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reports that WWE are set to pull out all the stops for WrestleMania 39. They are not holding back in any way. Currently, the plans are that Becky Lynch will take on Ronda Rousey and Roman Reigns will face the great one, The Rock, at the granddaddy of them all. WWE wants this to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And if those are your two main event matches on both nights, it's hard to argue that that is anything but the biggest WrestleMania ever. And that is not hyperbole. That is not me, marking out. That is not anything. That is facts. If you have Roman Reigns versus The Rock on one night, and then you have Ronda Rousey, biggest star in combat sports, biggest female star in combat sports, definitely, and you have Becky Lynch, biggest star in pro wrestling, arguably. No, there's not a card you can really put together as far as star power goes that's going to defeat those two main events. That is those are two of the biggest matches you can do. And again, The Rock, I'm assuming he wants to do one more match. I know he said he's retired and all that, but I'm really assuming he wants to do one more match. And who better to do it against than his cousin, who has been saying for the past 3 years or whatever, or that he is the best. Roman Reigns has been coming out on TV since, I believe, SummerSlam 2020, saying, I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. I'm this entire family. He represents the entire Samoan family in WWE. He is going to be challenging The Rock, the guy who is actually arguably the head of the table, who's accomplished everything Roman Reigns has and probably a little more. Look up his net worth, people. He's got enough money to give Vince McMahon $100 million eggs. But But no, in all seriousness, I mean that the two biggest matches you can do, Rousey and Lynch, is a match we've been waiting for since the summer or the fall or winter of 2018. That's a match we've been waiting for that long. That's call that long-term booking, call it whatever you want. They'll finally do it. That would be huge, and it would hopefully be a face Becky Lynch. Trevor, I know I just went on a diatribe, but I could not hold back my excitement about this. Trevor, what do you think about these plans? Like, would this be the biggest WrestleMania ever?
Yeah, hands down. I mean, it'd be the biggest WrestleMania ever. I mean, of course, number one is always gonna be considered one of the bigger ones because it was the first one. But like, in all seriousness, it's going to be the biggest WrestleMania ever. Like it's all the star powers you have there. Like it's just, it's crazy. Like you have returning Ronda Rousey. You have a Becky Lynch who never stopped being a superstar. You have The Rock, who is probably the biggest star to come from WWE. Like, and you also have the Tribal Chief. Like, there are so many stories that you can put, storylines you can put together. It works. It works any way you slice it, any way you put it around, it works. So, of course, this is quite possibly the biggest news for WrestleMania ever.
I mean, just think about this. Like, think about how tired you're gonna be after 2 nights of that. Like,
right?
I was tired after watching Omega and Okada 2 out of 3 falls. But man, man, I'm going to be deceased. After watching those 2 matches back-to-back nights, like that is going to, and it's going to be the biggest. Those are going to be probably the 2, definitely the most star-studded main events in probably wrestling history. Like, if I'm being honest with you, and they're really, like, if you look at it, right. There have been a lot of big main events. We all know about, like, Hogan versus Savage, Hogan versus Warrior, Stone Cold versus The Rock 3 times. This would be bigger than Stone Cold versus The Rock. I'm so serious. And I know a lot of fans that wouldn't like me to say that. It's just the truth. If they pulled this off, it's going to be the most star-studded Mania ever. And it's in Hollywood. Hollywood Mania, I'm back. Like it's in Hollywood. So they want to go and make it all star-studded. You add the fact that they're going to be in the beautiful SoFi Stadium where Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. Let's see how well that ages. And it's just going to be historic. Yeah, man, WrestleMania going Hollywood. Forget WrestleMania 38. I don't care. Forget Dallas. Forget Jerry World. I don't give a crap about that anymore. Give me Hollywood. Give me Hollywood.
That's terrible. Yeah. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun, though. If this actually goes to fruition, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Could you imagine if this is all a work and it's just like, you're going to get Ronda Rousey versus Eva Marie? Wow. Sorry, or WWE legend, Summer Rae. There we go. That's the match. Rousey versus Ray. You think you're special? You do.
Did you see her? Who was it? Who was it that got eliminated? That was funny. I think it was Kelly. Kelly's elimination was pretty funny.
Oh, where she felt like flat in her face.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Kelly. We love you, Kelly.
No, that was Kelly. I was like, that's her? That doesn't look like her at all.
Amen. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Guys, we're moving on to our next topic of the day, and that topic is Ronda frickin'
Rousey.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey made her glorious return to WWE TV, gracing our television screens, and we had the audacity to be mad about it online. Bad wrestling fans. But apparently, if you guys couldn't tell, Ronda Rousey, she came out the night after the Royal Rumble on Monday Night Raw and cut a promo that you could say was pretty bitter. She said the bitterness was coming through her, and apparently WWE have spoken to Ronda Rousey about her bitter promo upon her return to WWE. Ronda's promo obviously was received by fans as her turning heel, but apparently, Trevor, she's supposed to be a face. Ronda Rousey is supposed to be a face, and I believe Dave Meltzer reported that they talked to her, and apparently Rousey may be a little bitter about the fans. Rousey actually said on a Facebook Live this week, and I quote, "It's hard not to take the trash talk seriously." As I try to readjust myself here, it's hard to not to take the trash talk personally from fans, because I don't go out there as I don't go out there as a character, but I actually go out there as Ronda Rousey. I don't play Ronda Rousey on television. Sometimes I take it personally. And so basically she's over there saying that, she's gotten a lot of flack from fans that she doesn't particularly like or enjoy. And I get that. I really do get that. But at the same time, I think that Ronda Rousey has... it's one of those things where you got to... Trevor, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, cool. I was just wondering. Anyway, but it's one of those things with Ronda Rousey. I have a lot of thoughts in my head. I was trying to distract because I was adjusting the audio. But Trevor, what do you think about this news that Ronda Rousey is upset with her fans? Does she have a right to be upset with her fans, or is she taking maybe a little too much to heart?
Well, that's one of the things that a lot of fans of MMA had issues with Ronda anyway in the beginning. The fact that she took some things a little too seriously. When she lost to Holly Holm, she was in a deep depression, things like that. But a lot of people took that look like, wait, she's taking this too seriously, she's taking it overboard, she kind of wants attention. And that's not how I ever took it. I mean, being someone who was a member of combat sports for a little while, like, I can understand it would, like, I boxed.
Do we have video of this? Forget Ronda Rousey for a second. Do we have video of Trevor boxing?
There might still be video of me boxing.
We need to find this. We need to find this.
I gotta see.
Please continue, but just note that.
But no, like, I mean, especially looking at Ronda's background, you can see why she would take a loss like that kind of seriously. That was her whole life for a while. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess as a wrestler, she does have a little bit to be bitter about, because I feel like certain wrestling fans are too critical, and we talk about this weekly. I won't say last week or the week before, like weekly, on how terrible the comments from wrestling fans can be. Like when people do something great or people do something that they should be proud of, like, wrestling fans take that shit to heart and say some of the worst things they possibly could. John Moxley leaves and comes back for a great damn reason, a good reason, for his family, for his health, for him, for his career, and they crucified a man. Same thing with Roman Reigns for his leukemia. They crucified a man. Like, I mean, so I can see where her bitterness comes, but it could be a little overboard too.
Look, as someone who gets a minimal amount of crap thrown his way on the internet, as I do every day, I can tell you, like, I understand. Like, again, Ronda Rousey gets like 3 million times the stuff that I get. Like, I'm not trying to down. I'm just trying to provide like a microcosmal level of experience. I probably said that wrong, but you guys know what I'm saying. But I think that with Ronda, it's difficult because I understand why she's upset. Ronda Rousey is a wrestling fan who came in and wanted to be liked. She genuinely wants to maybe still be liked. And the reception that she got was immediately, it was good, but then it turned into, what it was, which was they were like, okay, she's beating everyone. Now we want to see her get beat. And I think in that way, I do think wrestling fans are a bit fickle like that. They get bored very easily. Like, sometimes they don't want to... And it's weird because I think Ronda's run was actually really great. Did it get a little stale? Yeah, it was also because they weren't necessarily putting her in there or putting her in the best situations as far as matches go and booking those accordingly. I think she should have been booked like a monster. Her matches should be booked... and I'm not saying, have her do suplex or whatever, but at a similar pace, at a similar, not so much style, like Brock Lesnar's. Like, they need to be quick, action-packed, and very little to no filler, right? Unless you're trying to tell a story like that. And if you're not trying to tell a story like that, forget the filler. Just go all out with Ronda Rousey being a badass UFC fighter. That's what she should be portrayed as, because that's what she is. She's the person who put women's MMA on the map. Fight me all you want in the comments. That's what she did, all right? Yeah. So book her accordingly, and then you had it in the palm of your hands. Rousey versus Lynch at the ascent of Becky Lynch literally becoming the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. They had the match right there, and they could have pulled the trigger. It would have been one of the wildest Mania matches probably ever. I promise you that crowd would have been hot for it. But then you added Charlotte, and this is not hating on Charlotte, but I said this on a stream before. Charlotte, to me, is the equivalent. She is this era's Randy Orton. And if that makes sense to you, you understand why. Because she's great in the ring. She has the ability to cut really good promos. But on a week-to-week basis, doesn't do much for me. Kind of like they show up. Yeah, they're crisp in the ring, and they do great stuff. It looks formulaic, though. The promos can be hit or really miss. A lot of you people promos. She is, to me, she gives me big Randy Orton vibes as far as a week-to-week character. I don't think that has to be the way it is. She's, I think, better than what she's being given and how she's being booked, but that's what it is. I just think, in the end, I just started ranting there, didn't I? But in the end, Ronda, I think, does need to understand, though, that it's part of the cult of celebrity. There's going to be a lot of idiots out there who are going to spew a lot of crap your way. And you can either ignore it, like you probably should. And I understand when you have like 20,000 people screaming at you or whatever, it's hard to ignore. But you got to play with it. That's wrestling. It's all a reaction-based business. And Ronda Rousey, I think, she just needs to be herself. And if that is, in fact, Trevor, her being bitter and her being mad at the fans and her being a heel, I think that's what it should be, because you're doing the match Becky versus Ronda. Ronda needs to be the heel anyway. So have her lean in. Yeah. Have her lean in on some Cody Rhodes stuff to being a heel. Have her come out there and act like she doesn't care. By the way, anyone who says Ronda Rousey doesn't care, Ronda Rousey would not be in WWE right now if she didn't care about wrestling. All right, she
wanted to get back to wrestling. She talked about it on her gaming stream for months, years actually, but it just wasn't the right time, because the thing is, she wanted to be a mom first. That's one of the things she wanted to do her entire life, to be a mom, and that's what she took off for. And I mean, Becky gets it. Yeah, I'm sure most of the women in the locker room get it, but like that's what she wanted to do. And you can't knock her for that. But like, all in all, she enjoyed being a WWE superstar. She loved it. She loved little girls wearing her shirts.
Little girls like me, bro. I was wearing the hell out of her shirt. I don't give a damn about my bad reputation.
Dude, I love Ronda Rousey. She's one of my favorite MMA fighters. Always has been, always will be.
Dude, I never understood this. Ronda Rousey, like, here's the thing. It's very easy, WWE, with Ronda Rousey. Have her come out and talk about how she's better than everyone else. You know what? She should be cutting Charlotte's promos, because that's all Charlotte ever talks about. I'm better than all of you. Like, that needs to be Ronda Rousey's gimmick. Just come out, I'm better than all of you bitches. That needs to be Ronda Rousey, just every promo.
What they need to work on, and what they need to do this, because this would be an amazing match, and the build would be great. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey.
Oh, Ronda wants to tag with Baszler. You want to have a way to make those tag team titles mean something? The women's tag team titles at WWE.
Put them on them. I was thinking that too. Yeah. Put them on them. Dude, they won't lose. They should never lose those belts.
I cannot believe WWE fired like Shafir, and I cannot believe they got rid of the four horsewomen of MMA right as Ronda Rousey comes back in, because I'm just so, bro. You want to talk making Survivor Series mean something again? 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen of WWE. Make that the match. That's the main event. That's your entire build to Survivor Series. It helps your build to WrestleMania because you get a little tease of Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. You get a little tease of maybe Shayna Baszler and Charlotte Flair, or all the different, or Bayley and Shayna. Matches. Come on now, Bayley, and it works so well because Bayley and Sasha Banks, they always just give them a random women's tag team title reign every now and then. They're probably gonna get one whenever Bayley comes back. So yeah, just have that be the thing. This just makes so much sense, and they're never gonna do it. Well, they can't do it now because Marina Shafir's in AEW. So she's wrestling on Dark. She's wrestling on Dark. Yeah.
Where's Jessamine Dukes now?
I don't even know if she's wrestling anymore. I actually have, like, don't quote me on this internet. I don't know. I can look it up, but I'm not sure.
Because I haven't heard much of her. I mean, she didn't really do much on WWE. They didn't really use her that much.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. As I'm looking it up, she's
probably independent.
Yeah, it just says she's released last year. She hasn't done much.
Nah.
Not sure. Again, I don't want to, but yeah, it doesn't seem like she's done much. Anyway, it'd be like that, though.
Yeah, it happens.
It'd also be like that if you don't hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, go to youtube.com/Real Take Sports to subscribe and check out the new.
You there?
I think I am. I don't know what happened. I think I just paused and I heard a weird sound in my ear. I heard a weird sound in my ear. It wasn't you, Trevor. I heard a weird sound in my ear. Anyway, you guys can check out my new wrestling channel, by the way, Real Take Wrestling. It doesn't affect this podcast. This podcast is still going to be on Real Take Sports, but all future live streams, lists, and breaking news stuff that I'm going to be doing that has to do with wrestling is going to be on Real Take Wrestling. So go subscribe there, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I don't own the domain name for that yet, so if you guys subscribe, it'll help me get there earlier. So subscribe to Real Take Wrestling today. It's pinned in the chat as well, and it's in the description of this episode if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Trevor, let's move on. Talk about AEW. Before we get to that, though, why don't we get to some of these chats? These people have been waiting for a while. CC's just said my brain froze. It's not a surprise that would happen after the week I've had in my professional life. My brain just tends to freeze now. It's just what it does. It is its state of nature. It be like that, as the great philosophers say.
Sometimes, so.
You have a brain? Well,
that's what they said.
So hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Trevor, you want to go through some of these super chats or these chats? They're not.
We still have any? I thought they were done. No,
I mean, I missed a bunch. I just missed a bunch. I feel like.
Let's see. Let's go back to probably Oberg, Lesnar, Admania, which is since he edits. Damn it, he spoke it into existence. It's gonna happen since he edits. Since he edits says WrestleMania Hollywood just gonna be a crappy WWE action movie.
No, it's gonna be if those are the two main events, it's gonna be the greatest action movie ever.
Yeah, it better be. I mean, they'll find a way to fuck it up.
We're gonna make Rock the heel. Oh god, heel Rock. Actually, they cannot mess up the Rock because you can make heel Rock work. I want Hollywood Rock.
I like heel Rock. Hollywood Rock was
like,
great.
Roman Reigns, you got my dinner and now my bacon a Christmas dinner. Let's rock. Like, come on.
He started singing the song about Vicky Guerrero.
Nope. No. We're trying to look. We do not condone what The Rock has done. That's the thing. Very quick aside. All these people are like shocked, right? They're like, all these people are like, oh man, The Rock's gonna run for president. The Rock's gonna run for president, and you know, like all these people who are now shocked, like, oh my god, I didn't know The Rock like said all these like racist and things in his character in like the 1990s. I'm like, again, it was in character. That doesn't mean it was right? That doesn't mean it was correct. It was, but I'm sitting back there every time like years ago. I've been saying this for years. Every time someone mentions, "Oh, The Rock's gonna run for president," I'm like, buddy, just wait until like some non-wrestling fan like figures out The Rock was cutting like anti everything promos. Like it was not great. I mean, it was a Jim Webb. It was a time. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ryan Woodridge in the chat says, "Hi bro, are you surprised that Vince fired Shane McMahon?" No. Because he had to. Genuinely think he would have lost locker room. And yes, Shane McMahon did in fact get fired by his father.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah. It's absolutely the funniest thing.
Trevor,
possible,
I've always looked at you like a son. And now that I've said that, you imagine if Vince kept the gimmick alive just to fire his own son.
That would have been great.
That would have been terrible. Families being ripped apart. Great. Get him out of here. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're moving on, and we're talking about AEW, or as Danhausen says, AEW. We'll get to him in a second. But, Trevor, I want to kick off by talking about an AEW mystery signing. Tony Khan has tweeted, and it's actually something good. Tony Khan tweeted, and it wasn't bad, people. Tony Khan tweeted out following Rampage last week, quote, "With a great showing in tonight's AEW Rampage TNT title bout, Isaiah Cassidy has earned a qualifying match for a spot in the Face of the Revolution ladder match with a TNT title shot at stake. His opponent will debut on Wednesday, plus sign his AEW contract. On top of that, he said this person is going to slam open or whatever the forbidden door. It is a forbidden door signing. It has opened up a lot of speculation as to who it could be. Many people think it might be Jeff Hardy. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Trevor, outside of Jeff Hardy, what do you take this tweet by Tony Khan, this announcement of a forbidden door big time signing to be, and who do you think it could be? Give me some options, maybe.
So Tony Khan is a hell of a salesman. We've said this many times. We've noticed this many times. If he says it's going to be a big signing, it's going to be a big signing. I mean, it's so many people can possibly be. And I totally agree. I think Isaiah Cassidy, to me, has really been stepping up his work, and I think it's good to start putting him in a limelight, type matches. But who could it be? Now, if you're talking about Forbidden Door, it can be a bunch of people. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as we've heard his name all year, a good person I would love to see is, of course, and I know you're sick of him, Matt Cardona. I would love to see Matty Cardona. Definitely see Matty Cardona in AEW because he was supposed to be there first. But we can also go Johnny Gargano.
Oh, bro, I got a podcast where I talk about wrestling figures, and I also got other stuff that I'm doing, bro. I'm Matt Cardona. Woo, woo, woo. Ha, you know it.
I love Matt Cardona. I'm sorry.
I do too, but too much. Too much.
But no, like he could possibly do it. Johnny G could definitely do it.
Johnny G from Real Take Sports could make the jump to AEW.
Johnny Gargano. I haven't met Johnny G, unfortunately.
Big shout out to Johnny G finishing up law school hopefully soon so he can come back and help me steady the ship that is Real Take Sports. By the way, we got a premium Super Bowl coverage coming up this week. A lot of stuff to talk about in the Super Bowl. I also have my Super Bowl live stream where I'm going to be reacting to the game. It is going to be a hellacious night here on Real Take Sports. Please continue, Trevor. I'm sorry I had to get that plug in.
Ryan Bridge added something that could definitely be Bray Wyatt. There's too many people that we can honestly say, but the people that we mentioned as far as like Forbidden Door, you mentioned even Jeff Hardy, you mentioned Bray Wyatt, Johnny Gargano. That's no longer Forbidden Door because they don't have a contract in WWE. So that's no longer Forbidden Door. That's a free agent. So whoever it is, it's got to be somebody who is stepping through that door. We've had wrestlers from WWE step over. We've had Adam Cole. We had his entire faction. So it could be someone who's actually stepping through the forbidden door.
Let's address this Forbidden Door stuff because I think you can take it. I think it's more likely the Forbidden Door thing is also just like him kind of being like, yeah, come on, like if Keith Lee comes over, that's Forbidden Door. Like I feel like he could get away with debuting Keith Lee and that being considered Forbidden Door kind of thing. He could get away with Jeff Hardy. Yeah. But if we want to do, like, we'll talk about who it's speculated to be in just a second. But if we want to get crazy with a Forbidden Door signing and signing an AEW contract, again, I have no idea what this man's contract status is. Do not take my word for it. I'm not a reporter. But Trevor, close your eyes for a second. Just close them. Just close them. Trust me. Close them. Hey, close them. Close them. Trust me.
Close. I mean, look.
All right. What would you think about? You're watching Dynamite. Isaiah Cassidy's in the ring. He thinks, I got a shot at this TNT title. I'm going to go win it. I'm going to go be the face of Revolution. And then he just hears...
Sorry. Cold.
Okada, baby. It's money coming down. Kazuchika Okada? No, it's not going to be Kazuchika Okada. That was all for me just to tell you all no. He's not going to be Kazuchika Okada. Although I would love to be him. There's a few people that I think could be. One person that I think it's most likely going to be, or that's not someone from a ex-WWE or an ex-WWE superstar who got released. I think the juice is loose, baby. It's gonna be Juice Robinson. Like
it could be Juice Robinson. It really could be.
Yep, Juice Robinson, formerly known as CJ Parker from NXT. God, they let that one go, didn't they? He, well known for his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is currently, I believe, a free agent as well. So some contract stuff up in the air with them. But Juice Robinson,
it could be some ROH stars too.
Against Isaiah Cassidy for the TNT Revolution match, the face of Revolution title match. No, no. It is going to be Juice Robinson. If it's not the first guy that was mentioned that we'll talk about in just a second. But I got Juice Robinson, man. I think that would be great, too, for not just AEW, not just ANW, but I think it would be great for Juice Robinson, too, because a lot of people in America have not seen what he can do with his full potential. The last people saw of him in America was on American television week to week, was the stuff he was doing as CJ Parry. That's Baywatch. CJ Parker in NXT, and that was like interesting stuff, but it was like back in the era of NXT being what it is now, which is developmental. So it's going to be interesting. He's come a long way. He's done a lot of great stuff. But I do think it's going to be Juice Robinson, who is an amazing talent for AEW.
He's an amazing talent. I mean, the truth is, there's so many people he can honestly be. Honestly, like it's so many people that you can definitely put. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if it is an RA star. I wouldn't mind at all. But Juice Robinson makes the most sense, though. Juice Robinson makes the most sense. It definitely does.
It definitely does. Let us know in the chat, guys, what you think makes the most sense. John Morrison says Ryan Woodger. I think John Morrison still has 90 days, so it can't be him. $1 Million Man's son, Ted DiBiase Jr. That man hasn't wrestled in like 10 years.
I was saying, he's not even wrestling anymore, is he?
No, he stopped wrestling like a decade ago, bro.
Not so.
Boogeyman. Even though could you imagine Boogeyman, the ultimate swerve, the Boogeyman, I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to AEW. I'm the Boogeyman. We're gonna have a tag team match.
If I ever get married, I'm doing that dance down the aisle.
Oh, kid, do you please do the music? Like, can you play the music on the Boogeyman? Oh God! You least eligible bachelor. Eat your heart out, girls. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Trevor, we talked about the mystery signing. Let's talk about who it's rumored and speculated to be. The charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy could be making his way to AEW after has been reported that he could possibly be the one who is this Forbidden Door mystery signing that's going to face Isaiah Cassidy on Dynamite live on Wednesday night from Atlantic City, New Jersey. People. Hardy was last seen wrestling for WWE, walking out of a house show when WWE allegedly released him for drug use. His drug test since have come back negative. He did not test positive for any drugs. He recently declined a Hall of Fame induction from WWE in a contract. He is a free agent. They even teased him a little bit with the Matt Hardy thing. That would be interesting to see what they would do with the Matt Hardy connection there. But what do you think about this? AEW getting Jeff freaking Hardy?
It's a good one. It's a damn good one. I mean, he's not done yet, right? He's still got a couple matches in him. It'd be interesting to see what they do with him in AEW, especially since $1 million Matt Hardy's over there, and now
$1 million. Have you seen this man's suits? It's like, dude, this is like minimum wage Matt Hardy. That's what that is. Minimum wage
big
Matt
money
Hardy.
Matt,
No, it's no money,
it's
Matt.
Funny.
It's
it's funny.
Why do you think he's mooching off 30% of? I'm like, dude, you're mooching 30% off of Isaiah Cassidy's contract. Neither of you are doing well. like neither of them are making enough money for that to mean much.
30% of nothing is nothing. I mean, now you have Andre Eligro. But
bankroll. I love this. They have a foreign beneficiary bankrolling their terrible business. It's like when Gordon Ramsay comes into a restaurant,
the funniest shit, dude.
And like he makes it look all nice, and he adds all this little stuff to the menu, and the restaurant still goes out of business. That's the equivalent of Andrade Alidolo coming in and bailing out the Hardy family complex or Hardy family office or whatever. But continue.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff Hardy.
But no, I think it'll be a good thing if Jeff came. I can't even be serious. I would love if Jeff came to AEW. I mean, that would definitely be a surprise to some anyway.
There's so much you could do there. I mean, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy versus Sting and Darby Allin. You could do Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy versus Edge or not Edge and Christian, but Christian and Jungle Boy. The Young Bucks versus the Hardys. That's a match that we've been waiting to see happen again. Since I think it happened the day. Actually, it happened the day before the Hardys returned to WWE in 2017.
Yep, sure
they had a ladder match for the ROH tag team titles. So 6 viewers, 9 likes, nice. But it is. Like this is gonna be a great signing. Like I actually like this better than the Juice Robinson signing, and I don't like to be like one of those guys like, oh, they don't have room. I don't know if they have room for Juice Robinson, and that's not a slight on Juice Robinson. I think because he's gonna be filling up or he's gonna be part in the mix of that TNT title picture, and there's a lot of people in that mix right now. There's too many people arguably in that TNT title picture, so you got to figure out something else. If you would bring him in again, they should bring him in. Why not? But if you're bringing Jeff Hardy, I think there's just more you can do without him necessarily being in the title picture because he's not going to win the TNT title.
No.
Or if he does, could you imagine that? You get Can we get like a Hardy TNT title, like the Jeff Hardy custom title?
Oh, dude, I actually love that belt. I love that Jeff Hardy custom belt.
Oh, it's like the best piece of merch TNA ever came out with.
It was a lot. It was fun.
It was great. I mean, it's not as great as like the Rusev calendar. That I think might be the single greatest piece of merch in wrestling history. The Rusev calendar that came out in like 2018, where every day on the calendar was Rusev Day. Whoever came up with that, give that intern a raise, please.
Yeah, that was great. And speaking of him, I want him back. Where is he?
He's jumped ships. He's an AEW now. He's an AEW intern. He's a Moro. Guys, I'm babbling my way through the rest of this show. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Trevor, we're going to talk about one more thing. Actually, 2 more things, but we're going to talk about this one thing we're going to talk about. I know it tickles your fancy in the absolute greatest way because we're going to be talking about the one, the only.
The only,
baby. Are you Dusty Rhodes? Is this Dusty Rhodes or Danhausen? I can't tell.
Oh, that one was Dusty, baby. Sorry.
No, you do a great Dusty. I can't. That's the one impression I really can't do. I can't do a Dusty. I don't got the. I don't got the lip for it, baby. I can't do it. I just can't do it. But you know what I
sounds like you just have a bad lip.
Can't do it. Oh, okay. The Danhausen debuted in AEW. People, Danhausen is All Elite Hausen, Danhausen's Vanhausen's mark out as he makes many golden monies with A&W. I mean, fuck. Okay, Dan. Okay, I know we missed this, and I was waiting to get your reaction to this, and I will. But Danhausen has got to be the smartest man in the history of pro wrestling. Not only
absolutely,
this man accidentally worked himself. He worked himself. See, he shot himself into a work that ended up landing him in AEW and also landing him a sponsorship for A&W, the burger joint. This man is a genius. Thing. But Trevor, Danhausen, he debuted under the ring in the lights out match between Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole, and he escorted Orange Cassidy to the ring the following week. What do you make of Danhausen being All Elite Hausen?
The smartest man. One of the smartest men in wrestling. Person in general in wrestling at this point. Dude, so for those of you that don't know, we did a spotlight on Danhausen. And at the time, Danhausen was picking up a lot of fanfare. I mean, Danhausen's been doing his work since Danhausen, came to the scene. He's been on YouTube promoting himself. He's been in public appearance promoting himself. As we all know, he's also never really comes out of his makeup or his character. He's been on Conan O'Brien's podcast. The man has been working. And not only has he been working outside of the ring, he's been working hard in the indies, hard in ROH, and hard behind the scenes of AEW. Not in like Omar said, not only did this man work himself into a match, because I think his leg is finally healed up now. All he did was show himself for like 5 seconds, and the crowd went crazy. And he put a curse on Adam Cole. And
ever since then, Adam Cole has been very serious since Danhausen cursed him.
Yes.
Giving Malachi Black a run for his money.
And then, you put a curse on John Moxley last week.
And we're gonna see a serious John Moxley with Bryan Danielson. Oh god, so much. Please,
so much.
Danhausen, thank you.
But the thing is, I don't know how many of you know that A&W actually is a burger chain, but it's also a root beer. He has started to promote A&W root beer and burger joint. The man is amazing. He's so smart. He is single-handedly like we just said, the smartest man in wrestling right now. And honestly, we talk about people that need to be in that TNT title picture. He's one of them. You can't knock the man's skills either. He can wrestle. He definitely can wrestle. He can wrestle his butt off. He's proven that in the Indies. He's proven that in ROH. He can wrestle his butt off. To me, this is one of the biggest things that has happened in AEW in a while. It's one of the biggest things that can happen to is an indie fan. You want to see indie guys make it big. And this is one of the biggest. He's probably one of the biggest stars in indies besides Matt Cardona.
He's bigger than Matt Cardona. Fuck Matt Cardona. He's bigger than Matt Cardona.
I mean, he is, but
he's very elite, very evil. He is, bro. Okay. First of all, Danhausen is not only the greatest businessman in pro wrestling right now, he's not only the greatest hustler in pro wrestling right now, he is the funniest person in pro wrestling right
absolutely.
Now, period.
He's hilarious.
It is. I watched his... Dude, first of all, I watch his vlogs, and I watch Ethan Page does a vlog too, and Danhausen did a toy hunt with him. It was Ethan Page, Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful, Hornswoggle, and Danhausen.
Was this the one where they went to eat?
No, they went toy shopping. It was hilarious. It's hilarious. Danhausen never breaks character, and Hornswoggle got pissed. He was he just could not stop laughing. Hornswoggle was on the ground laughing at Danhausen because he just never broke character. Danhausen at one point tried to steal some toys because he was like, "Oh, I switched the tags. It's free now." He was amazing. And not only that, Trevor, his own vlog was. This week it was I watched it at work during my lunch break. It was 8 minutes of just pure gold, just pure gold.
Yeah, he's amazing.
It was the first half of it is just it's the first. I'm yeah, I'm gonna spoil it for some people, so spoiler alert. But the first half of it is just Danhausen, it's him going around to wrestlers, like asking them what they think of Danhausen, and instead of it being like real shot footage, it is just a picture of that wrestler.
Yep.
With Danhausen doing voiceover, allegedly in that wrestler's voice. So it's like Ethan Page. Oh, I got Danhausen signed, and now I'm going to give Danhausen $10,000. Like he's like Britt Baker did the same thing. Oh, hello, I am Britt Baker, AEW Women's World Champion, and I'm going to give Danhausen $1 million. Like it's just him sending himself IOUs in other people's names, and then the last half of him, it's just him and the Gun Club, or as Danhausen calls them, the Ass Boys, Billy Gunn's children. He calls them the Ass Boys. It's so funny. I never get over the way he just refers to him. He's just like, he's holding the camera. He's like, oh, look, hello, Ass Boys. Like, he's like, oh, your son is your dad is Mr. Ass, and therefore you are the Ass Boys. I love it.
He's like the gimmick that he has, dude, is just like to me the funniest thing he
it's
ever
not a
did.
Gimmick.
One of the funniest things he ever did.
It's like he's a psychopath.
It is absolutely. He's absolutely insane. He did an interview. I forget the guy's name. He did an interview on YouTube, and he wasn't in his face paint, but the way he explained it was they had finely tuned equipment to make him look like an Earthling, so he wouldn't be intimidating to everyone else. Yo, it was the funniest explanation for not being in character. Danhausen to me is an absolute genius. Absolute genius. If you're talking about just pure straight from the indies, and now we hear, yes, he's the greatest wrestler in indie wrestling, like star in indie circuit. If you're talking about just starting from another promotion, getting kicked to the curb, then you're talking about Matt Cardona. But this guy here, he started from the indies and worked his way up and is still considered like an indie guy, and he is quite possibly the smartest man in wrestling, period. Like I love Danhausen. Danhausen is one of my favorite wrestlers.
He you know what, Trevor? You know what the funny part is? Danhausen, I don't know how long his contract is, for 3 years he's signed to AEW. Danhausen, he doesn't have to wrestle. You're right, exactly. He doesn't have to wrestle a damn match ever. He doesn't have to wrestle another match ever again in his life, because Danhausen, even though he's a pretty good wrestler, Danhausen can just go out there, be Danhausen, and you could have skits playing. Like it could just be skits, like on Dynamite, and they'd be the funniest thing ever. I am waiting for the day they let Danhausen cut a promo on Dynamite or Rampage.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
It is going to be so great, because the best part is they're going to let Danhausen just do whatever he wants, and that's exactly what brought him to the dance. Danhausen just doing whatever he wants, and it's always over. He's dude, and he's got so many ready-made feuds. Like he's got a feud with CM Punk. He has a feud with CM Punk, or a tag team with CM Punk, whatever, already lined up. This dude is a genius. Just absolutely.
He has one with Adam Cole lined up. He has one with Moxley lined up.
The Ass Boys. He got the Ass Boys. He's got the Ethan Page. Like, there's so much to play off of.
Dude, another thing you need to check out is him and Ethan Page when they go to like a fast food restaurant. It's the funniest thing ever. Like Danhausen. Is this
the one where Danhausen? Sorry, go ahead.
No. Which one do you think it is? It's probably the same one.
No, I was thinking about the one where Danhausen, he goes to the drive-thru at A&W looking for a job, thinking it's AEW.
Yes, that one was funny as hell. I'll show that one last long.
Hello, Mr. Tony Khan. He goes up to the drive-thru. He's like, hello, Tony Khan. Can I have my golden monies now?
He said one time his wife doesn't take him seriously. Yo, if we could get an interview with Danhausen, that'd be great.
Oh, by Danhausen, that would be. Oh, please, Danhausen, check out my DMs, please.
Dude, Danhausen, We are two of your absolute fans. Please.
You know how much, dude? You know how much money? What's his name? We're not gonna say his name, but what's his name was asking. You imagine how much money Danhausen's gonna ask?
Oh, but you know what? I would pay it.
What if he said $1,000? I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that.
No.
Shit.
No.
I love Danhausen. I'll buy your shirt, Dan. I will buy your shirt.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not. The shirt I was already gonna buy.
Exactly. Actually, I already ordered mine.
We got big time Danhausen for Danhausen.
But no, like, dude, this is great for this is great for wrestling. Honestly, Danhausen is great for wrestling. I said that at the end of the spotlight that I did. I honestly believe he's great for wrestling. This reminds me of old school style wrestling. You know what I mean?
That reminds you of old school wrestling?
You don't remember all of the stupid shit, like some of the.
I remember the stupid crap being crap, but I don't exactly remember I don't exactly remember a man who thinks he's a cross between a vampire and Conan O'Brien coming out saying he's going to take people's monies and calling people ass boys.
I don't remember anyone doing that, but I remember people staying in gimmick. Like George
that's the one big thing. He stays in gimmick 24/7. It's not a gimmick. It's a personality.
I think he's insane. I think it's actually insane.
Oh, you gotta be a little insane. You gotta have like a little bit, like, you know, it's kind of like the method actors, like Daniel Day-Lewis, who stays in character, or what's his name, Jim Carrey, and all those guys who stay in character the whole time. Like, it's just what he is. Except that's how he makes all of his money. Guys, we're heading down the home stretch of this show. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos released. Let's get some of these chats here. We have some interesting chats. A lot about Shane McMahon. Hi, bro. Is Shane McMahon bringing back WCW? Can confirm that is never happening.
It's never happening.
Ryan Woodridge in the chat says, hi, bro. Do you think RK Bro could sign with AEW? Nah, not a chance right now. They're locked in. Randy Orton signed a massive contract a while ago. He's locked in. Ramit in the chat asks, Jeff Hardy and Brother Nero versus Keith Lee are being all elite very soon. Oh, Brother Nero. I want to see Brother Nero return. That would be interesting.
Me too.
Brother Nero, I knew you'd come, unlike Veer.
Poor Veer.
Man, it's so weird. Veer can find his way to main event. He can find his way to WWE main event, but he can't find his way to Raw. They're taped the same night. I don't understand.
It's two different roles, you know? Like, you have to go this way to go.
It's the same arena. It's an hour.
You have to go that way to go to Raw, so it's, you know.
Ryan in the chat says, do you see Shane buying stock in AEW and being part owner? No, Tony Khan is never giving up ownership of AEW. And there's no stock to buy. They're a private company. There's no stock to buy.
Yeah, there's no stock.
Interesting note here by DEVI asking in the chat, or saying in the chat rather, Miro, Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, QT Marshall, Lance Archer, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs are the only big men in AEW. Do you see AEW signing guys like Keith Lee and Bray Wyatt is necessary to ensure the various types of talent? So I've heard this critique levied a lot. Like, AEW has a lot of slender guys, a lot of skinny guys, and that's where a lot of the focus goes to. And the one thing I'll say to that is, in defense of the way that they, in defense of the way that they have these stars and book their talent, it's based similarly as if UFC was. Like, because UFC, the biggest draw in UFC isn't, you know, necessarily the world heavyweight champion. It's whoever is the biggest star at the time. And for a very long time, it was Ronda Rousey, who is not a super heavyweight. It was Conor McGregor. Even if Conor McGregor decides to come back one more time, it's going to be Conor McGregor. You know, so it's not necessarily the heavyweight. I do understand, though, the critique of AEW possibly not building up their big men to be bigger. The only one right now that I could see built up as a world champion that's on the path, at least right now, is Wardlow. I would like to say that about Hobbs. I just don't think they've developed Hobbs to that point yet. He's kind of just fledgling a little bit with Team Taz.
Right.
What do you think, though, about them maybe bringing in some bigger guys?
No, I agree with what you're saying, and I thought with the UFC comparison was a very good comparison. Because like for a long time, the argument was who was the pound for pound better fighter? Was it Johnny Bones Jones or was it Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson? And in my opinion, it was Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. You're talking about a featherweight, a guy who literally fought, who literally fought everyone in the division. They had to do they did a tough enough show. Not tough enough, but it was a UFC, Ultimate Fighter show, just for him to find him competition. And that's not even a lot. That's the truth. They literally searched worldwide for a person to fight him. And I brought him up because, like you said, like you can build. I mean, ROH showed that. Like, I mean, the biggest guy in ROH was who back in the day? I forget who it was. Because hell, Seth Rollins was what 190 pounds soaking wet.
Brian Danielson, Michael Elgin. Even though we shouldn't talk about him anymore. But Davey Richards, like these are not huge guys. But they were at the time the best wrestlers in the world. Yeah, Kenny Omega, not an overly huge guy. Like yeah.
No, Kenny is barely, what is he, 210, 220?
Yeah, it's like 210, 220. Not a huge guy.
Not a huge guy. But like I think to make them legitimate, though, they have to bring some big guys in, bigger than Wardlow. Wardlow is a good stepping stone. I agree, and so is Powerhouse Hobbs. But again, I think to piggyback off what you said, I think Wardlow will get the push before Powerhouse Hobbs will. At this moment, anyway. I mean, I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs do something. I actually like him a lot. I follow him too.
You hit it right in the head. I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs do something.
But
that's the sentence.
Thing
I would love to see him do something.
Here's the thing, and not taking anything from Hobbs, because I actually like Hobbs a lot. Is it me, or do you think he doesn't have a screen presence like the others do, like all out Ricky Starks, the absolute Ricky Starks, or the other guys? I think he's decent on the mic. I just don't think he has this presence they have on screen, if that makes sense to you.
When was the last time Hobbs cut a promo?
Exactly.
When was the last time he's had the opportunity to cut a promo? What's the last Powerhouse Hobbs promo you remember? And I don't think it has anything to do with...
It had to be months ago at this point.
Like, I don't think it has much to do with screen presence as it has to do with presentation of him. I think he can get better. I've seen him in the ring. He's got,
he's great talent.
Great talent. He's got I think he's got underrated, in-ring charisma. You can work on the out-of-ring charisma. Like, he's been working with Taz and Ricky Starks for the past, almost a year and a half now. Like, I'm sure there's going to be something. He's picked up something over that time. So, I think so. He should. Ryan, last chat before we get to our final segment. Ryan Woodridge in the chat says, do you see Rob Gronkowski could retire from the Bucks and sign with AEW and Wrestle? Well, I'll say this. Since Tom Brady is gone, I could see him retiring, but he's not going to AEW. He's going to WWE.
They already sunk that in there.
Rob Gronkowski is going to make the 24/7 championship great again when he wins it and finally takes it back after getting hoodwinked out of it when he signed with the Bucks back in 2020. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get your last chats in. Consider donating a super chat as well to help out the show. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, blah, blah, blah. MJF.
Yeah,
my God, MJF. How do I even get to this? So, Trevor, last week on Dynamite, MJF beat CM Punk not once, but twice. The match was restarted after the referee apparently had noticed that there was MJF had been choking Punk out, although that could have been just tape that fell off of his wrist. I didn't see much logic in that, but match got restarted after CM Punk after MJF originally choked out CM Punk, and then I thought, we'll get to what we think about the finish. I thought it was great, but then in the finish, MJF hits Punk with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, pins him. So he knocked him out, and he pinned him in the same night. We are not going to hear the end of this for the next 2 decades. This is going to be his Chris Jericho. I beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. I beat CM Punk twice in the same night in Chicago. he's going to say this for the next 20 years. What did you think about the match? What did you think about the finish with Wardlow? Because that presentation, my God.
It was, you know what? I will say I think it started off relatively slow, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I thought it was a great match. I did. I thought it was a great match. The two endings, two pinfalls, I thought was a nice touch. The ending, and the funny thing is, the ending to me wasn't the initial ending with when he pins CM Punk punchman. That's not even the part I'm talking. And I'm pretty sure if I know you, that's not even the part you're talking about either. The part where Wardlow, like, begrudgingly gets in and power bonds him. Like, that's the part that I paid more attention to. And to me, that is still setting up for his alliance change. And I think that's the part that is
well the thing is he didn't powerbomb Punk. Remember, he didn't powerbomb Punk.
That's right. He did. You're right. He didn't
because the finish of the match was Wardlow coming out and distracting CM Punk.
That's right. But I thought he did at the end of the match.
It might have been. I mean, it might have been after the match, but not during the match.
Not during the match. No,
because at the finish of the match was Wardlow, and the camera didn't show this until the replay, which was, I thought, beautiful direction by whoever thought of that. Wardlow actually handed what?
That he threw the ring in.
Yep. No, he threw. Remember, he handed MJF the ring behind his back. So CM Punk didn't see it. The referee didn't see it. Yep. And then at the end, after MJF hit him with the ring, MJF passed it back to Wardlow. It was, go watch the finish, everyone. It was golden. Like, the presentation could not have been better because the cameras did not catch it the first time around, and they did on the replay. And Tony Schiavone just goes, "Oh, I'm disgusted." Like, that was amazing.
Dude, I love the fact that Tony hates him.
So that's Tony's gimmick. That's been Tony's gimmick for the past 30 years in pro wrestling. Oh, I hate this damn guy. Who is it? Mick Foley? I'll put butts in the seats.
Dude, I love the fact that he literally, I have not heard Tony Schiavone cuss this much in a very long time, or ever for that matter. But no, it's the whole, like you said, the presentation, the whole match was great. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm waiting to see what the backlash is going to be. I'm sorry, I'm waiting to see what the what the backlash is going to be from this.
Well, speaking of backlash, WrestleMania backlash, buddy. But speaking of the backlash, I do have a question about that. What do you think is next after MJF, or what do you think is next for MJF, I should say, after he defeated CM Punk twice in the same night in Chicago?
You do know this feud ain't over, right? We all know that.
Nah, it's all over, man. No, they can't. No. This is it. CM Punk cannot be allowed to get his win back against MJF. Their trajectory needs to go.
He should, honestly, to make it good. I don't think he should, but it's they're going to at some point. But no, honestly, I think this is when you start the feud. You slowly start the drifting from MJF or Wardlow. I think this is what you do. I think this is when you start it. Not suddenly and not not soon, but slowly, like you've been doing for the past couple years, past year. You continue to do it slowly but surely.
So I got a hot take here. I don't think you do MJF and Wardlow until at least Full Gear. Full Gear.
You build it up though. You completely build it up, but you don't do it yet.
And I think after this, MJF's next thing should be either winning the TNT title, which I'm not too hot about that, but I think his next thing really is it's going to be him defeating Hangman Adam Page at Double or Nothing. And that is going to be when it happens. It's when it should happen, because remember, AEW has not ran Las Vegas since their first ever pay-per-view. They didn't do it in 2020. True. They didn't do it in 2021. They're coming back to Vegas in May of 2022, God willing. And it is setting up to be MJF's coronation as finally the AEW World Champion that we've been waiting for since the first night of AEW. Because remember, same city, same arena, MGM Grand Garden Arena, MJF came out and he said, as the AEW Championship was being presented, he's the guy who said, I'm going to hold that title one day.
He did.
Imagine how poetic it would be the next time that AEW was ever in Vegas. MJF fulfilled that promise by hook and probably by crook. He will. MJF will be the next AEW World Champion, and he will never let us forget about it. And then you build up the tension between him and Wardlow. I want that to be like the Triple H Batista moment when Wardlow finally betrays MJF. That's what I want out of that. You hold on to it. They've been building it. Keep building it. It's great.
Uh-oh. I honestly think it's a good idea. I do, but I don't know. I kind of want them to do Hangman Adam Page's title run justice, even though I don't.
Can I ask you a question? A genuine question. When was the last time that a beloved babyface has had a good title run? Genuinely.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Like, I'm serious.
No, you're right. I mean, the thing is, it's either tweeners or it's like pure heels. Like you don't not anymore anyway. You don't get your pure babyface champion anymore. You haven't for years. I'm trying to think of the last one there was.
Moxley was a babyface. Well, Moxley was he was over as a babyface.
He's a tweener though.
I mean, tweener, but he was a face. Every feud he was in, he was a face.
Yeah.
Like he was facing heels every time.
He was a face. I mean, he was a face, but like Moxley to me doesn't
but he's not he's not. I understand he's not the he's not the traditional baby face. But I'm serious. Think about when was the last time it ever happened and it worked. And it worked. When was the last time it ever happened? Exactly.
I can't even tell you the last time it happened.
And you know why it is, Trevor? It's because for a beloved babyface like Hangman Adam Page, the build and the journey to the world title means 1,000 times more than the actual title reign itself. It is that moment, that journey, everything leading up to him finally, by God, finally hoisting up that AEW World Championship and saying that I am Hangman Adam Page and I am finally become the world champion after all of the adversity they've been through. That's what it's about having. That's what it's about. Are there other guys like Moxley? He's not a traditional babyface, but he is a good guy, quote unquote, who can work babyface in a match and still have a long title reign because he's more of a snarly babyface,
Right.
Hangman Adam Page comes out there and is like, "Hey guys, I'm Hangman Page and I'm sick of this shit." I love him. The match he had with Bryan was both matches.
He has some great matches. He's a great presence in the ring.
They are not presenting him, and he is not looking like the guy. He's not the focus of AEW. It's just not him. Him versus Lance Archer, could not care less.
No. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun match.
It's going to be a fun match. I love both guys, and I'm excited to see it, but it's not going to make the difference, right?
The guy on the screen is the focus. The guy on the screen, he's the focus. MJF is the focus. MJF is what do they say? The name that runs the place. He's
better than you.
MJF. MJF. There's a couple of names you can throw out there, but definitely right now, MJF.
He's going to be the next champion. He's going to beat Hangman Adam Page by heel crookery. He's going to take that Dynamite Diamond ring and bash him in the face right as mark my words, Trevor. Hangman Adam Page is going to have him set up for the buckshot lariat, and Hangman Adam Page is going to get whacked in the face with the Dynamite Diamond ring. 1, 2, 3. MJF, this unrelenting piece of crap, MJF will be the next AEW World Champion, and he won't let anyone forget about it. You think he's unsufferable now? You just wait till May.
Completely insufferable about that. Oh,
and it's going to be amazing.
And I'll be honest with you, I've never been the guy, never been a kid when I was younger that liked the heroes. Shit, I was a Mr. Perfect fan.
Yeah, you were out there when Hogan was facing the earthquake. You were out there let's go, Jack Tunney, let's go.
Exactly. In Star Wars, I wanted Darth Vader to win. I'm that guy. And I absolutely love MJF. I think MJF is a hell of a talent. He's one of the best heels I've seen. And I can't wait to see him with that title because I know it's going to happen sooner or later.
Very well could
You
happen.
gonna say something?
I'm better than you. You know it's true. I'm better than you. Do. You know that's actually his theme. Like so. Here's the thing, the MJF's theme. Like if you look up his theme, it actually has lyrics to it. But when and the lyrics are I'm better than you. That's literally the song. And it's
That's
like
hilarious.
I'm like that's perfect. But AEW they took away that and instead they just have the little like duck quacks like like that's just his,
like his music a lot,
and I'm just like that makes it even worse because like he's saying he's better than you every time he comes out without even talking, and it's
Pretty
just
much.
the most annoying theme ever. Like he's redefining what it means to be a heel in 2021 or 2022.
Did
My
you
God, time is flying.
happen to see his one of his Instagram posts where this kid, he was taking a picture with this kid and he flipped the kid off.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that. Genius.
And actually, the kid actually like broke him out of character. He was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
No, because he was laughing because he almost he popped. The kid made him pop. Like that was crazy.
He was like, "You know what? Get out of here. I'm done with this."
That kid and Danhausen, the only two people to really make MJF pop.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
man.
Trevor, anything else you want to talk about before we head off into the sunset for the next week?
Want to read some of these chats here, sir? Then we got a few more to read.
And then we got one more.
One more?
I would like to see Rob Gronkowski versus Wardlow.
Okay, never mind.
Thank you, Ryan, for always being engaged, by the way. We love your wacky.
We love you, Ryan.
Ideas.
We love you guys, definitely. So let's see. Anything else to add? Guys, I missed you guys. Definitely missed you guys. I don't know how Omer feels, but I'm pretty sure we said the same sentiment. You guys make my day, make my week. I'm glad to be back. As I say every week, and I'm gonna say it again. Hug those who are close, love those who are far, and be good people.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the people out there that I may have offended. Sorry I didn't do it any sooner. It's like, nah. Hey-yo. Now.
Just kidding.
Come on
Just
now.
kidding.
Come
just
on now.
kidding.
We love y'all.
We
We do love y'all. Thank you guys for always being very supportive and engaging. We love that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell. Check out Real Take Wrestling, where all my future wrestling content is going to be outside of this show. This show is staying here, but breaking news, lists, and my wonderful live streams where I destroy my voice, all going to be on Real Take Wrestling from now on. Real Take Sports is going to have it's going to be a little bit of a flux, but it's going to be a lot of the same stuff, but some more stuff in the works. I'm going to be bringing back some original faces from Real Take Sports Talk, so check out that. We have our I almost said Royal Rumble. Real Take Sports has its Super Bowl preview show coming up. Ben, I haven't actually told them yet, but we're going to try to have Ben and a few other people on for that. So check that out. We're going to have Real Take Sports Talk hopefully as well as a separate thing. Maybe. We'll see how that works out. I got to talk about Tom Brady and all that stuff. We're going to be having the Super Bowl live stream as well on Sunday, plugging all that stuff. If you can't keep track of that, just go to youtube.com/Real Take Sports and subscribe so you don't miss anything. And also Real Take Wrestling, subscribe there. And I'm sure with Trevor, we'll have something to announce with you.
And for a cheap pop, if you're in the DC area, downtown DC area, on Super Bowl Sunday at my bar, Union Trust, we are having a Super Bowl party from 5, serving food, wings, Mexican street food, all day happy hour from 5 to 11. Come now, come see me.
You heard it, Union Trust. If you're in the city in DC on Super Bowl Sunday, it is literally right next to the White House. No matter your political affiliations, you are welcome to enjoy some wonderful wings, Mexican street food, and some beverages a la Trevor. It is not free. Be sure to tip your bartender. No. So thank you, Trevor, for that plug. Big shout out to the boys at Union Trust for keeping you fed. Yeah, and guys, subscribe, all that jazz. We'll have much more to talk about next week, I'm sure, as the Saudi Mania plans get finalized. Until all that, go to realtakesports.com, by the way, as well. I don't know. My plugs this week have been weird, but so have I, and that's part of the magic of this show. Until next time, everyone, follow us on Twitter at Real Take Sports. Follow us on Instagram at Real Take Sports Talk, at Facebook Real Take Sports Talk as well. www.realtakesports.com. Subscribe, like, keep it real. Bye.